I'm Xiuwen, and some of you might recognize me as the 2019 representative of Singapore at the Hanyu-Qiao Chinese Bridge competition. Today, I will be your local tour guide, and I'm so excited to take you through this urban jungle where we call home, Singapore. With just 283 square miles, Singapore is one of the smallest nations in the world. But at the same time, we are packed with a population of more than 5 million. That's more than 18,500 people per square mile. If you've watched Crazy Rich Asians, you might think that Singapore is a concrete jungle full of skyscrapers, cityscapes, and fast transportation. And yes, we are also known to have a thriving economy, which is based on innovation and technology. But those who have actually been here would tell you otherwise, that this is an island city full of green spaces and large plants. You might wonder, so many people but so little space. How does Singapore still maintain so much nature spaces without threatening the need to build economic infrastructure? Well, the answer is meticulous urban planning. In Singapore, we are used to living with gardens and parks available everywhere. Each neighborhood has their own floral and fauna, preserved and incorporated into our everyday spaces. Singapore envisions a lush green metropolis with eye-catching vertical and high-rise vegetation. The vision is intertwined with human well-being and economic prosperity. It is also a practical example of the societal advantages of preserving nature as an integrated element of our urban setting. Besides being visually pleasing, these green spaces also purify the air and cool down the tropical environment. Here's one of the spaces in Singapore that features a curious integration of architecture and nature. Marina One is a billion-dollar project to build a commercial, residential, and office building in one of the prime central business districts of Singapore. And the most ambitious part of the project is right here at the Green Heart. Connecting all 4 towers, this area is thriving with thousands of plants, trees, and even a waterfall. There are also sky bridges and terraces covered with flora, totaling to about 160,000 plants. According to developers, the biodiversity here at Marina One is sufficient enough to fill 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Since the country gained independence in 1965, rapid urbanization and economic development has resulted in the loss of up to 95% of our historical forests. In 1968, our founding father, the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, began to plan a city that is embedded within a garden with the goal of improving the quality of life. Since then, parks and nature reserves have taken up roughly 10% of Singapore's area. We begin to realize the dangers of losing our nature spaces forever. Therefore, the government has came up with strategies to protect the country's unique wildlife ecosystem. We started to preserve our floral and fauna in nature reserves such as Bukit Timah and Sungai Buloh. Do you find it a little noisier here? That's because I've taken the bus right here to the side of the main road that's right outside the Central Catchment Nature Reserve. This is the largest nature reserve in Singapore, occupying 2,880 hectares. Come explore what we have here. See monkeys resting along the side of the road and on top of the trees by the road. Forming one large living green lawn in the middle of the city, the Central Catchment Reserve is home to one of Singapore's most famous international attractions to the world, the Singapore Zoo. The Nature Reserve have about 500 animal species, including crab-eating macaques, colugos, common tree shrews, Sunda slow lories, as well as the Sunda pangolin. This is also home to wild species such as this red sunbird, larger racket-tailed drongo, as well as kingfishers. Severely endangered bat species have also been spotted here. BirdLife International has designated this reserve, along with the neighbouring Bukit Timah Reserve, as the Central Forest Important Bird Area because it supports population of threatened birds, such as the straw-headed bulbul. As you can see now, it just started raining heavily outside, and here we are taking shelter under this tree, which forms a natural umbrella where there's no rain. This is one of the most famous attractions at the Central Catchment Area. The HSBC Treetop Walk that opened in 2004 is a 250 meters long suspension bridge that links MacRitchie's two highest points, Bukit Pierce and Bukit Kalang. It usually gets quite warm after a rainy day, which is what happened just now actually. This bridge can get kind of shaky because it's a suspension bridge after all. For those with an extreme fear of height, I think this might be a bit challenging. The actual distance between the suspension bridge and the ground can be more than 25 meters at its highest point. So these kind of educational panels are everywhere along the trails. I think it's very important to educate the next generation on the importance of preserving our natural habitat. Oh, so if you guys look over there, you can see the reservoir. You can see that there's a golf course, an endless stretch of forest in the nature. What a climb. I really do need to take a break. It's nice that there are huts like this everywhere that provides a resting station for us trekkers. Here I am on the Jelatong Tower. This is a 7-story observation deck that gives visitors an unobstructed view of the forest. Right there over the horizon, you can actually very clearly see buildings, just a walking distance away from our forest. Those are actually commercial and residential buildings that we live and play in. This distance from the jungle shows you how integrated our living spaces are with these green areas. Our recreational activities in Singapore is also highly integrated with these forest spaces. Besides taking a hike in these areas, we enjoy a range of activities with minimal disturbance to these parks and its ecosystem. For example, there are mountain biking trails at the Chestnut Nature Park. Visitors to the MacRitchie Reservoir can also enjoy kayaking in the water spaces. That's that! This is all I have as a brief introduction to our jungle city. There's a lot of debates and challenges on developing a sustainable green city. This problem of juggling our environment and the economy will only grow bigger from here. Singapore may not be the perfect solution. Oh, trust me, we ourselves are working on a couple of environmental issues right now. But when it comes to demonstrating an effective, sustainable development for tropical cities, it is one of the best models to consider. Just ask any one of us if we love the greenery around us, and the answer will always be yes. Even better, come visit us and experience this for yourself.